My favorite thing, I think, is their enthusiasm. Their enthusiasm to work 8 to 10-hour days and still show up on a Tuesday night for a 2-hour intense rehearsal on music which is more often than not very difficult. And so I draw on that energy. We draw on each other's interest in performing live music. And I think that is one of the greatest attributes. They have created their own community within the orchestra, and that just broadens out to our audience.
My name is Nancy Rach. I've played in the Kansas City Civic Orchestra since I moved to town in 1962. I played in the first violin section and enjoyed it so much. Ours is very outstanding, and everybody wants to play in it because it is so good.
Moving to Missouri was a daunting task for me at first. I came from Southern California, so finding a welcoming opportunity to continue to play music was what I was looking for, and I found that with Kansas City Civic Orchestra. I've stayed for as long as I have just because it's a simply beautiful place to play music. Coming into my first rehearsal with the orchestra, I was so relieved to find out that everyone already knew my name and they were excited to see me, and everyone is so excited and happy to see everyone. It is a reflection of the community that it surrounds.
Brings back memories.
Being at the Kaufman Center for the Performing Arts and being on stage and playing Tchaikovsky and hearing my sound go out in the hall and then hearing the audience's reaction to everybody was, well, I'm getting goosebumps even talking about it right now. It was just amazing. It was the pinnacle of, I'd say, my musical career with the Civic.
The Civic Orchestra got to play backup to Dennis DeYoung, who was part of Styx, at the Spirit Festival in 2003. It was pretty amazing.
When we played Pictures in an Exhibition, I played principal trumpet on that, and there's a huge trumpet solo, and that was a very special moment for me.
One of the great pieces that's ever been written, in my opinion, is the Violin Concerto by Brahms. And it has a very, very exposed and very lovely oboe solo in the second movement. And it's a solo that every oboe player wants to do at least once. And we played that last year, and it was the first time I had ever played it, and that was probably one of the musical highlights of my life.
My everyday life is so hectic. It's the one place that I kind of feel like calm and serene, and I love playing with the rest of the orchestra.
This is a diversion for me. This is what completes me, and I can't imagine not having an outlet where I can at least express that. So for me, it's a time commitment that's worthwhile just to keep my sanity.
I love to play, and I love music. It's not a task or a burden upon me at all. My time is precious, but I choose to play my oboe and be in an orchestra, and for me, it's a great privilege.
Our educational outreach program is unique in the fact that our outreach committee doesn't just go and perform for schools in the area. We also have an interactive program where we have kids make their own music. Our outreach committee has reached over 4,500 children since its inception. It's a great opportunity for schools, hospitals, special needs facilities to get exposure to music where they otherwise wouldn't have it.
It's really important to me to be a positive role model for young girls.
The KCCO presenters are so very good with interacting with the children through playing while the children sing, through letting them play the instruments with their help, of course. After the performances, when the children do go back to their classrooms, several things happen. It is amazing to watch them in role play. And even a wooden block this long, tucked under the chin, is a great, great violin, just so you know that.
Several years ago, the orchestra started a program called the Instrument Petting Zoo, where children are able to come and touch and feel and play instruments with the assistance of musicians from the orchestra. In years past, we have had a special hour before the zoo is open to the public for special needs children to come and have that experience without too much sound or too much input so that they can be relaxed in the environment.
We've started a young people's concerto competition, which has brought a lot of very fine young players to audition for that one wonderful spot to be able to play as a junior high school or high school student at Hellsberg Hall as a soloist. It is pretty amazing.
My name's Bethlehem Kelly, and I play the violin. I started officially playing when I was about 6 years old. I was a soloist with the Kansas City Civic Orchestra at Hellsberg Hall, and I felt pretty good going into it because I practiced a lot and I felt like I knew the piece. I really like performing, so I don't feel too nervous going up to it. I really had a lot of fun on stage. My goal is to get into a good conservatory for college, and then after that, I hope I can make it into a professional orchestra.
The pre-concert talk, surprisingly, turned out to be quite popular. It's an opportunity for me to address some of the elements and the pieces that the orchestra plays that evening. And then most importantly, I tell them why I chose that piece.
I am grateful for the time that these very talented people donate. This is a community organization. They don't make any money, and yet they are inspired to entertain the community.
I'm really impressed with not only the playing members of this orchestra. I am constantly impressed by our friends of Civic Orchestra, our volunteers that help with behind-the-scenes logistics, our board of directors who give countless hours of their time, most of the time pro bono, to make this orchestra function. The orchestra's mission is how it affects that idea of community. I think it's how we commit to the music of our community and how we share it with the greater community. That's what really makes this a community orchestra.